Now, a quick word from our sponsors.
Don't forget to check out the Hockey Podcast Network's newest affiliate, NHLShop.com. That's right, the official NHL merchandise page. Right now, they're giving 20% off orders over $25 with code NHLICE25. Also, if you use our link that we're going to tweet out after this episode, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network. The Hockey Podcast Network has also joined forces with Puffy Mattresses. They're not just any bed-in-a-bag company. These are America's most comfortable mattress, and right now you can get $300 off a new mattress plus a free king-size pillow. Plus, they offer a 101-night sleep trial, so if you're not satisfied with the mattress, you can return it no problem. Also, if you use our link, just like NHLShop.com, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network.
This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. Well, everyone, did you enjoy the sales pitch that was Tyler Toffoli last night?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
For anyone who didn't think I was onto something, you saw it firsthand.
The stock has risen.
Yes, that was only his 16th, 17th, and 18th goals of the season. However, they were 16, 17, and 18. The first ever hat trick in a outdoor game in the NHL.
Yeah.
Which we were just talking. Seems like a lot. It seems like a lot of games to go without a hat trick.
Yeah, considering that was the 30th.
The 30th outdoor game in the NHL's history.
Yeah.
However, just thinking about like the regular season, how often does a hat trick actually happen in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, we were kind of
I don't think there's like 15 or 20 hat tricks a season. So like the average is probably over 30.
Yeah, I wonder how many there are right now, because I know Pasta has like 3. There's probably
Matthews has
probably about 15, 20 right now.
Ovechkin has 14.
yeah, seriously. Luckily, we didn't get a hat he scored on us by Ovi.
He certainly tried.
Yeah,
he had his chances.
He did.
This is going to be a bit of a different episode, I think, because A, the hockey games are awful, and B, there's a lot of extracurricular stuff to get into, and we only have an hour, so probably just go through the games pretty quick, and then we'll get into the extra stuff, including what was the terribleness of the Stadium Series that I'm sure everybody else but us got to enjoy.
Yeah, we'll get there. That's unfortunate.
So Washington on Thursday night, Avs come out guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
Looked fantastic. Grubauer was unreal.
Oh, man, did he play. Frick. It's so unfortunate that hopefully he's not out for too long, but my God, the last, at least, the last, 4 or 5 games that he's played, he's been really, really solid.
Yeah.
He played really good in this one.
Yeah, I thought he was great. But yeah, there was the 2-on-1 to open up the scoring from McKinnon to Burakovsky.
Yeah.
And Holtby, who, I don't know, it's tough. It wasn't really a tough first period, but the fact that it's 1-0 in 3 minutes hurts. But man, he almost had that. He almost had save of the month.
Yeah. Seriously, that would have been crazy.
Just absolutely disgusting potential. Off his glove and in.
Yeah, what a nice pass from McKinnon, as per usual.
So gross.
Holtby, man, he played so good in this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Both goalies were insane in this game.
Yeah, this game had a bunch of great goaltending. So did Saturday night's game. Jonathan Quick was outrageous.
He's phenomenal too.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing to come and record this episode. We're recording on Sunday as usual. Happy Hockey Day in America to everyone as well. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you aren't exactly thrilled about another NHL event, but still, it's Hockey Day in America. I believe it's hosted in Tennessee somewhere, which is pretty cool for growing the game because like I saw some of the commercials and some of the like prep stuff and like the outdoor hockey tournament stuff that's put on there. That looks pretty sweet. And
nice, yeah.
Something like that happening somewhere other than the hockey meccas of the States is really cool. And Tennessee obviously is not that.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic to see that hockey is doing so well there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's great for the NHL. It's great for the sport of hockey. It's great for fans everywhere. Anyway, it's disappointing to come and record this episode when the Avs had a damn good chance to win 2 games.
Yeah.
And climb the standings, and they come out with 0 points.
Both of these games are stingers, dude. Like, this is, yeah.
Because not only did they not take advantage of the Blues not getting points either,
right?
But Dallas got points,
I was
and
gonna
now
say,
the Avs are in third.
Someone did,
right? This Central went from being St. Louis's no questions asked to 74, 73, 72 points.
It's getting spicy, man.
Yes, the Avs have a game in hand. Yes, if they win Monday night, I believe, they're tied for first in the Central, up a point on Dallas. But they could have been in the lead by a couple here in games that were winnable, especially against the Kings. And I understand we're going to get there too. It's an outdoor game. It's kind of a 50-50 depending on who gets bounces. It's outdoor game. It's not the greatest ice, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no excuse. You can't lose that game 2-1.
Yeah.
Minus the empty netter. Right? You can't. You just can't. And I understand Jonathan Quick played outrageously well. I get it. Braden Holtby played outrageously well. I get it. We've said it a million times. Good teams battle through that.
Yeah.
And back to the Washington game, good teams don't take 17 penalties.
Oh, my God.
And good teams score on the power play.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It wasn't like the Avs had 8 and the Caps had 2.
Yeah, it was everybody. It was a lot, especially that second period. Holy crap. How many penalties? Well, I'll look at that. But, I mean, at least Burakovsky gets another. I think he scored in the first game against Washington, too, early on in the season.
Right. Yeah.
Gets another one against his old squad. Gets 18, which is his career high. It's actually been a while since he scored, which is funny because he's been playing so well.
Yeah.
And he's been getting a lot of assists.
So many points. Yeah, exactly.
But that was really good, at least.
There was 1 penalty in the first. There was 6 in the second.
Yeah.
And 2 for the Avs in the third.
Yeah.
So it's when you look at the stats line and you have the Caps have 5 power plays, the Avs have 4. And basically the difference in this game is special teams, as usual, with the Avs.
You lose the special teams battle, and 90% of the time you're losing the game, especially if there's enough freaking penalties out there, which there clearly was in this one.
Yeah, right. So it's incredibly frustrating. Same thing. Their power play goes 40%. The Avs penalty kill goes 60%. Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's
not good enough.
It's not good enough. Especially with the goals that went in. And I guess we'll get to that because it's the second period that the goals against start happening. Mikko Rantanen was dancing again.
Yeah, he had a really good game too.
Even before he scored, there was that one play where he dipsy-doodled through like 2 or 3 guys in the middle of the ice, and Holtby made a nice save.
You know what I immediately thought of too was that bet with Hockey Troll at the start of the season. And I'm like, seriously, if Mikko didn't get injured and he could have played like this all year.
What was your bet again?
Just that Mikko would score more than Ovi.
All right. I don't know, man.
Ovechkin's been just playing so damn good still, you know?
I think he probably still loses that.
He probably would, but it would have been a good
been
fight because he's got 19, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And like he hasn't played that well for weeks at a time.
Months.
And he was out for a little bit. It's like you never know, but
yeah, that guy. If he played a full season, that goal total is probably 34 right now.
Yeah, like who knows, right? But enough of the what if game.
Yeah,
I guess
we don't get to play that what if game because we know it's the Avalanche and the injuries keep piling up.
That too, man. Jeez.
But anyway, Rantanen's goal, the one that he did eventually put in, another nice play, power play goal.
Yeah.
Nice play by McKinnon. It looks like, and I think it was Polly Cupcakes from the Capture podcast tweet out something like, is this just going to be another tire fire basically game for the Capitals? And Hockey Troll tweets, no, it's not. And I was like, come on, man, maybe like just a cakewalk, please.
Yeah.
And we know that the Avs don't do that very much.
Yeah.
Especially against a team of the Caps caliber.
Couple quick notes actually I wanted to make. Just the OV goal chart. Did you see that?
His career goals?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
it's crazy, but I just thought I'd mention I thought he would have scored more from the left side of the ice.
So did I.
But it was like 470-ish on the left and like 230-ish on the right. I'm like, I thought it would be a little bit more, but like it's just look at the slot.
That is almost double on the left side.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would have expected
crazy.
it to be like a definite 60-40. Actually, it's probably pretty close to 60-40 there.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I just thought it was funny and just like, oh my god, he's so good.
He's ridiculous.
But yeah, McKinnon also on this game, he got to 4 straight games with a multi-point game.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's pretty crazy too. We all know how good he is. But yeah, it was a good first period, honestly. Like we played really well in this first period. I was pretty stoked. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Here we go.
Yeah.
And then we get to the second period.
Get to the second period. Get to penalties on penalties on penalties. Whether that's
and
the
garbage penalties.
Yeah.
Like so bad. Come on, boys. That is
just
unacceptable.
Just lazy. Well, I'm looking now. There's 4 penalties out of the 9 were high sticks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, control your stick.
Right?
4 high sticking penalties? Oh my god, guys.
Well, yeah, look at this. So it's the Avs penalties here. Tyson Jost, high stick. Eric Johnson, high stick. Jonas Donskoy, slashing.
Yeah.
Ian Cole, hooking. And Burakovsky, high sticking.
All stick infractions.
Yeah, anybody wanna point out what's the same here?
Jeez, man. It was a struggle, and it's like, seriously, laziness. That's what it all comes down to.
Just about every single high stick, and we can go back to that one that McKinnon got, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, where he swung his stick one-handed, bounced off the stick, and hit him in the face.
Yep.
It's all laziness.
Control.
You got to control your stick in all aspects, and I understand sometimes you can take a stick penalty or whatever, and it's a quote-unquote good penalty because you're taking away a goal, you're taking away a scoring chance, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
High sticks never are.
Yeah, basically.
Never.
You're never hitting someone in the face to stop a goal. And if you are, you're an interesting player.
Chara.
Yeah.
But like hooking, generally speaking, it's you're not moving your feet and you're out of position. Ian Cole takes the hook that puts the Avs on the penalty kill for the first time in the third period, which luckily the Avs killed, but it started the ball rolling. Man, the third period, the Caps were just all over the Avs. All over.
Yeah.
Remember how, I can't remember which game it was, but the Avs, I think shots were 10-7 for the opponent. And we're like, man, what a great third period for the Avs. Like the Avs had 12 shots in the third period on Thursday night.
Yeah. That's surprising.
That should be a good number.
Yeah.
But the Caps had 19.
Yeah.
19. Are you serious?
Not good.
You can't. And I think they said something on the broadcast, like the Avs 5-game win streak that they were currently on, they hadn't got scored on in the third period.
Right.
Well, that friggin' changed, didn't it?
Yeah, and like barely got scored on 5-on-5, which is crazy.
That too. which they barely got scored on 5-on-5 in this one too.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, to the second period where we can talk about Backstrom's goal, which is absolutely infuriating.
Yeah.
I honestly, so it looks like it's Ian Cole being completely garbage and covering, well, maybe not being garbage, but being told to cover Alex Ovechkin at his office, which we've talked about on at least on our other podcasts a million times. But you would think a team or teams, any coaching staff, period, would have picked up on the fact that Ovechkin scores a lot of goals there.
Yeah.
And if you're on the penalty kill, turn it into a 4-on-3, just cover Ovechkin, which I think is what was drawn up by Bednar on this particular PK. If he drew up the defenseman being the guy to cover Ovechkin at the top of the circle, you have to be high.
Yeah. Well, especially just because I don't know if there's a miscommunication or something, and like Graves is supposed to be more in front of the net or something. I don't know,
See,
but to me it looks like everyone just gets caught almost.
See, I think you're looking at the wrong guy still. It ain't Ryan Graves' fault.
Well, no, for sure.
Belmar is standing at the top of the other circle.
Yeah.
Behind his partner.
And it is
That is the far winger is the exact guy that sits on Ovechkin.
And honestly, I don't know if this is just like a miscommunication when it comes to preparation, because it's weird because that's how the Avs like to kill penalties, is they kind of cycle the top two forwards, you know?
Yeah,
like
which is fine. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna draw up a play to cover Ovi, you don't use a defenseman.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You use a forward, and you let the one guy run around like it's a 4-on-3.
well, because that's usually how they do it, right? And you're right. I think that's a mistake. Yeah.
And if that's not how it's drawn up, and Ian Cole just went to Ovechkin for fun, then it is his fault.
Yeah.
Because he just let the back door wide open.
Yeah.
Backstrom had, I don't know, 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet maybe of room in front of the net by himself.
Yeah.
That you're telling me that that's not more dangerous than Ovechkin potentially getting the puck?
Definitely is.
Like, I get it. Ovechkin's really dangerous.
So is Backstrom.
Backstrom's real danger. Any NHLer, you could put
Especially a top line PP.
John Scott with that much room in the front of the net, and he'll be dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Like-
true, man. Milan
I was
Lucic.
just about to go there. Right? And it's just like, if it was drawn up to have Ian Cole on Ovechkin, brutal play selection. Brutal.
Yeah.
If Ian Cole did that for fun, like that's what he thought was the idea, then it's brutal on Ian Cole.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty much
if-
brutal no matter
If
what.
Belmar is just in the middle of the ice doing nothing, then it's on him. Like,
Brutal.
it's a multitude of errors obviously on this play, but it's just like watching it, you're just like, it looks like Ian Cole is just out to lunch on the replay, but I don't think it's him.
Yeah.
I don't. I think this is some coach, whether it's Bednar or one of the other assistant coaches. I think it's one of them that decides, man, we need to cover Ovi. Good idea. Awesome idea. Do it right.
Yeah.
I understand, like, a 4-on-3 is generally far worse than a 5-on-4. But Ovechkin is Ovechkin.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen the rest of the game. So I think, to me, it was a play that somebody tried and it didn't go well.
And then they're like, huh?
And if
Let's
somebody
not do
thought
that.
if somebody thought that was the play, then you're crazy, and I don't understand how you're employed.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
don't get it. But it was a great pass to Backstrom through Graves' legs.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely beautiful pass.
Yeah, it was.
But again, you can't leave.
Jakob.
Like, for how well Grubauer had played in this game as a whole, but up until this point, you guys gave him such a shit end of the deal by giving Backstrom wide open front of the net.
Seriously, yep.
Then you get to the Tom Wilson power play goal in the third, and it's almost the same thing where you just decide not to cover the front of the net, except this time it's Tom Wilson tipping a puck in.
Yeah.
The difference between this one and the last one is the fact that Zadorov is covering nothing. Zadorov is covering air.
I know. This is a tough one again.
Zadorov's covering air at the top of the right, well, I guess it'd be the left side of the crease, the blocker side of Grubauer. And, was it Graves? I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. Either Graves or Girard, one of the two G's, was in the corner chasing, and he was on his way back to the front of the net to get to Wilson. So as the shot comes, it looks like they're both covering nothing.
Yeah, it's Graves, yeah.
But it's mostly on Zadorov, in my opinion, because if you're gonna stand there,
do something
with the guy.
Find a guy.
You're 5-on-4. You have to play zone. I get it. That's the whole point of a PK. You're playing zone. You got to play your area.
Yeah, I mean that's a brain fart because it's like he's going. I don't know what he's doing.
He's literally not moving. Yeah, he's doing nothing,
and he's looking up the ice, and he just completely forgets about Wilson.
Right. That's my point. Like I get it. If he pushes over and takes Zadorov completely, then whoever is in OV spot, well, it might. I don't think it's OV at this time, but it could have been. I think this is the second unit though. Whoever's in that OV office is going to drop down and take the back door if Zadorov pushes over to Wilson. So I get it. But when you're on a 5-on-4 and you're covering no one, it's a 5-on-3.
Plus, you're a big body and you're kind of just standing in front of your goalie.
Which, you want to talk about big bodies standing in front of their goalies, that's goal 3.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Why is this team so okay with leaving guys in front of their goalie? Push them and move them out of the way. Eric Johnson is just totally okay with Oshie just standing there.
And it's Oshie. The guy can tip pucks pretty good.
There's probably a couple guys, one being Pavelski, that's better than Oshie at tipping pucks.
Yeah.
And you're just okay with not even taking his stick away.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything except for helping him screen your goalie.
And this is, again, like last 3 minutes of a third. I don't know why this crap's leaking in again, but please don't come back to us.
And it's a guy like Johnson that I expect to be tough and push guys out of the front. It's not McCarr, it's not Girard, and it's not Graves.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Like, yeah, that's your job. That's your role. And I mean, if you look at other teams, like even look at the Wild. Do they ever let that crap happen? Not often.
And like, okay,
like you need to have
I'm not saying cross-check him and take a penalty.
Yeah.
Push him out of the way.
Yeah, like
make an effort. Try.
Yeah. He
didn't even try.
Right? You have to do something.
And generally speaking, you're not going to take a cross-checking penalty there.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, that's not getting called.
It barely ever. Unless you like repeatedly do.
Make him pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Make him pay for sitting there. And I just, especially in this game, of all games where it's just like they took penalties at will and they're not even trying to like even push the issue there.
Yeah.
And it's 5-on-5. It looked like a 5-on-4 because they're just sitting there. Two Avs are standing in front of the net, helping screen Grubauer.
It's like, yeah, I get you want to play the collapse. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so let's look at some other games that we just played where we do the collapse properly. And then let's watch this where we collapse and don't cover anybody, basically.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, right? Like
just kind of there.
The thing with collapsing is you move guys out of the way of your goalie so that he can see the puck, and B, you take away the scoring chances on the fringes.
Yeah.
Like the fringe of the slot or whatever, the fringe of the net. TJ Oshie was the only dangerous guy in the slot, and you just let him hang out.
Yeah.
All you have to do on that play, and I understand, maybe there's a really nice shot and it finds a corner because Grubauer can't see it, but if you take Oshie's stick away there, it hits Grubauer.
Yeah, and you have to.
All you got to do is take his stick away, smack it.
Yeah.
One time as the shot's coming in, he's not tipping that puck. That's it. That's exactly all you got to do.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating because this is the shit that was a month ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, we haven't even run into like crazy penalty trouble like that in a long time. Obviously, it's so frustrating because we dominated this first period.
Yeah.
And even the start of the second, there's a little bit of time at the start of the second. Actually, it was kind of both ways, but it was the game we wanted, right?
It's the game you expected. this wasn't going to be an easy game. This is the first
Exactly.
place team in the NHL.
Yeah. We wanted that high pace, free flowing rush game, and we took ourselves out of it with all the penalties. And my God, were they bad. Like, so bad. I haven't seen a team take this many bad penalties in a game in a long time.
And again, you're not going to win every game. I'm not crazy butthurt about them losing to the Caps. I'm not.
Yeah, but the way
they lost it, good teams don't lose like that. Bad teams lose like that.
Yeah.
Again, I've said it before, and again, this was a very competitive game. It's 3-2. The Avs didn't get smashed.
No.
It's little mistakes that snowballed into losing the game. You're going to lose playoff games like this. If you do that same crap, you lose playoff games too. That can happen.
I mean, yeah, like, honestly, if it weren't for the penalties, this is a way different game, obviously. And I will say, this was actually a really competitive game, and it definitely felt like a playoff game.
100%.
I guess even if you throw in the penalties, that can definitely happen in the playoffs. I mean, it's just, yeah. I already said it. We took ourselves out of this game, and it's just, we can't do that.
No. Moving on to Saturday night's game. Saturday night's on-ice portion we will get to first, because the off-ice portion is a rant and a half. Many.
A ranting?
A ranting. Avs started off fantastic.
Yeah.
For about 14 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Jonathan Quick, again, we touched on this already. Quick was the whole reason, and I think Drew Doughty at the intermission, right at the end of the first in this little on ice interview thing, said the same thing. If it wasn't for Quick, it'd be 2-3-4-1.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, Quick played really good.
There was a bunch of really good chances early.
That was like vintage Quick.
Yeah. That was
peak.
That was vintage Quick or current Quick where he gets injured 3 minutes later.
Yeah, right. The way he plays the game, you're like, holy.
Avs had 15 shots. So this is the problem with this game. The Avs found a way to be down when the Kings barely had shots. Like, there was a point where the Kings were up 2-1, and it was 15 shots for the Kings in the whole game. Like, when Grubauer got taken out of the game, I guess it wasn't 2-1 yet. But when Grubauer got knocked out of the game by Inkol being a winner, they had 15 shots. And it was 1-1 at that point.
Yeah.
But, and again, that was all Jonathan Quick. The Avs were doing just about everything they could, including the posts, because, you know, why wouldn't the Avs get ruined by the posts?
Yeah.
This is why I'm not super concerned with the Avs losing this game as a whole. It's just, like you tweeted, like, good teams win this game.
Yeah.
And you have to win this game. It's still worth 2 points. If they win this game, they're first in the Central.
Yeah. That too, right?
If they won on Saturday or on Thursday, they're first in the Central today.
Yeah, they had 2 chances. 2 chances.
And that's what's disappointing about it.
Totally.
And again, just because they're in the first in the Central today doesn't mean they're first in the Central tomorrow.
But you gotta put the race in motion, you know? You gotta pressure it.
When you get a chance, when you're scoreboard watching and you get a chance to go up, you have to take it.
Right.
It's frustrating. And again, I joked about Toffoli showing up and playing well. He gets lucky as hell on the first goal.
Yeah.
Lucky as hell.
For sure.
However, the Avalanche do nothing against it.
It looks awful.
Tyler Toffoli is backdoor wide open on a 5-on-5.
Yeah. It looks real
Anybody
bad.
want to do the math on why he's open? Because somebody's doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And that somebody is Andrei Burakovsky.
Yeah.
I was literally watching the highlights. I didn't even notice it during the broadcast last night. I didn't even notice. Watch the highlights today, and you're just like, okay, wait, why is Zadorov and Burakovsky in the same area on the same guy? Oh, because Burakovsky was there first, just standing there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right? And you're just like, why? And he shouldn't be on Toffoli. That's a defenseman's job, and I don't know where the defenseman is.
It's probably not his man generally.
But you also can't be 5-on-5 covering air.
Yeah. I mean,
because you're not blocking the shot there.
And this has kind of been the problem with the top unit, the top line,
for
the whole year, and it's just lack of coverage. They're not so great responsible in their own end. You know, we know they can score goals, but
which is all well and good until you don't score goals.
Yeah.
Right? Which is exactly what happened tonight.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
And then you just have these lackadaisical defensive zone moments when it's like, okay, well,
that's in the net.
So there's a player just chilling beside our net, wide open.
Which, when you look at the stat line, it doesn't look very good for Grubauer. But what's he supposed to do? That puck gets tipped in the feet of Burakovsky, Zadorov, and whoever the hell Zadorov was covering.
Yeah.
Gets tipped, hits the post, goes to the other side of the net to a wide open King for whatever reason. Yeah. Right? That's the thing. It's just like, man, he must be really smart to be there. Well, I mean, sure, I'd go to somewhere where there's nobody going to cover me.
I go stand beside the net
for
a free goal. And, like, I bet you a casual fan is going to be like, what the hell are you doing, Grubauer? Like, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah.
The puck goes off the post, and he's already, like, turning. Like, I don't know.
He tried. He got a piece of it.
Yeah.
He almost got there.
It's true.
But again, right, the Avs were good, and this is another thing that's happened to the Avs so many times this year, where they outplay a team, they don't bury, and they get scored on their down, right? And it's okay. It's 1-0. They're not out of it by any stretch. The Avs are way better than the Kings.
Yeah.
They could easily come back. They did come back. They just about went up in the matter of 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's a case of you run into a hot goalie, and when you run into hot goalies and hot teams and hot defenses and stuff like that, you have to be sharp. You can't let Tyler Toffoli be wide open beside the net.
Yeah. And I mean,
again, for the people that keep trying to like show the friggin' stats and show the advanced stats charts and all this crap, saying the Avs are a good defensive team, what more do you need proof of?
I think the Avs are a defensive team when they're offensive. That's probably, I don't know.
I just,
because there's blatant holes.
Yeah, I think as a whole, right? Like the Avs do a very good job at covering the mediocre stuff, but when they have a mistake, it's so big and it ends up in the back of the net. It's a full-on put the puck in the empty net mistake almost.
Yeah, and right? I don't necessarily think it's like a personnel issue.
I don't either.
It's a mental issue.
I said this, right?
Yeah.
I said this about the decor.
Yeah.
The 6 guys on the decor are absolutely fine.
Yeah. And when they're playing
the 12 guys on the forward lines are just good. Like, they're fine too. Missing Kadri hurts for sure, and it's hurting right now.
Yeah, it's noticeable.
Tyler Toffoli's not going to fix that.
No.
Tyler Toffoli will help that, and I think he would add. I still do. It does, and I don't think he adds because his 3 goals last night.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
we were already talking about it way before that anyway, right?
Yeah, right. Like I love the fact that it happened.
He's going somewhere.
He's going somewhere, and
he'll help.
He
whoever.
should go to Colorado.
I mean, it's not a bad. I mean, especially if they got their pro scouts there yesterday, they were probably like,
But yeah, it's one of these things with the Avs, and it's every time they make mistakes, it's just so blatant, and I don't think charts and stuff can adequately represent how big, like how, what's the word, how serious a mistake is or something like that. Like,
yeah,
it can show mistakes. Yeah. It can show consistent mistakes. It can't show one-offs.
Right.
And the Avs one-offs are all the time.
Well, and that's the thing too, right? Like, so there's games where the majority of the game we're playing everything just peachy, and then like you say, we have these crazy bad turnovers or whatever, right?
You can look at this game as a prime example.
Yeah.
The Kings had 23 shots, but their 2 goals come on really bad plays on the defensive coverage.
Yeah.
Toffoli's second goal, he just walks down the middle. He misses, like he kind of fans on his first shot, but then the guy covering, I don't know if he was just too aggressive, but all of a sudden ends up behind Toffoli, and Toffoli's just got the entire slot to just walk up and shoot on Frankie.
Yeah.
Like,
who's already like bitten because legit Toffoli wanted to shoot it. It was such a good shot fake that he didn't even know he was gonna miss.
The best shot fake in the game.
He faked himself out.
But anyway, before we get to the Frankie news, you go through there, you go through the first, they're down. That wasn't there wasn't really anything else. Did you feel that it could have been 2-0 Kings? No.
Like in the first?
Yeah.
Not really. The Avs, I feel like we played well until that goal. And then it was just I don't know where the execution went in the first period, but it was gone.
Yeah.
But the second period, it was decent.
And
we had a really good start to that period.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. There was times when we did get outplayed by LA in this game, but
it wasn't even close to as frequent as the other way around.
Yeah.
The Avs outplayed the Kings, everybody but Quick.
Yeah,
for large portions of this game.
Yeah.
By the time Girard gets his puck in the net, Quick had already made 2 or 3 stops.
Yeah.
Then
goes for his stick.
So this is a weird. I texted you at the very moment. I'm like, is there any other way to describe this goal aside from it was a shit show?
Yeah. And
it wasn't the first one of the game.
I was gonna say, I feel like there was quite a few shit shows.
Because there was the shit show in the first period.
Yeah.
Where Quick made a couple of beauty saves.
Yeah.
It was McKinnon driving it off his face.
Oh
first.
yeah. Right.
Then tries to go behind him through the crease. Then another shot that missed, and then another shot, he made a nice save. Another shot makes a save. This was very much like that. And the only reason Quick gets scored on is because for whatever reason he goes for a stick. And if you're listening to Boucher on the broadcast, he was talking about how the stick is the most important part of the goalie's equipment, blah, 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 blah. No.
I think it's more of a security blanket.
That's exactly what it is. You feel ridiculous without a stick.
I couldn't even imagine how weird that feels.
You feel ridiculous without your stick, but with Butterfly being the way it is, being the way goalies play.
Well, and especially Quick too, right?
Yeah. Right, you're going down, you're covering the majority of the bottom of the ice without your stick. Your stick is just there to make you feel okay.
Yeah.
And
for the most part.
Now, it's not. I don't think goalies practice without their sticks very often. It's not normal. But putting yourself out of position for a stick, or the way it used to be, where players would give goalies their stick.
Yeah, I don't think it's
worth it anymore. I think it's way more worth it to have a goalie just play without a stick.
I think it's worth it if you have the time. That was not the time to do it. It's the puck's in the high slot here. I'm just gonna go for my stick right now.
I was meaning the whole giving your stick up. If you're a defenseman giving your stick away, I don't think that's worth it at all.
No.
I don't think it's worth it at all anymore. And if that's not worth it, then your stick ain't the most important part of your equipment.
Yeah.
And obviously that's kind of like a cliche saying. Obviously your pads are important because they protect you and all this shit. We know. I think you know what he meant. Just kind of like the fact that if you don't have your stick, well, when you were a stand-up goalie or you played more stand-up style, your stick was hella important. 100%. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Not anymore though. It's not. And yeah, like you said, when the puck is there, and again, Girard wasn't exactly winding up for a slap shot when Quick went for a stick. He was facing the other way.
Yeah.
He just turned and ripped it, and it was perfect.
Yeah, he probably had no clue that
if he rips that center mass, Quick is still stopping it. That was a really good shot.
It was a good
just
shot.
over the shoulder.
Yeah.
And Quick was ready. Quick was coming back up, and it was a really good shot.
Yeah, right over his shoulder. It was nice.
So that's the thing. You can say Quick might have made the wrong choice, but it's not like he got beat by just a muffin or something like that. That was a really good shot by Girard.
Yeah, for sure.
Rantanen gets an assist there. Again, shit show. I think he's lucky to get a point. It is what it is. But for Rantanen, it's nice because it keeps his point streak going. Or is just, I don't even know how long his point streak is, but the way he's played well.
At least 3 games now.
The way he's played the last, I don't know, week or so is.
Yeah.
He's earned himself some phantom points.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that.
For sure.
But this isn't even the end of the period. This is 19-18 through the second period. That's 42 seconds to go. Cale Makar, the second post of the period, because, again, why wouldn't the Avs hit the post? Cale Makar absolutely dusts. I don't even remember. I don't remember but he broke some.
It doesn't matter. Let's not embarrass him.
Yeah. dusts the freaking king, and drives down the slot and just rings it off the crossbar. I thought he buried that so bad.
It's so classic, dude. Like, we don't even need to say anything more than it's Makar. So, and you probably saw it. I'm sure a lot of people were watching this game. He's so good, and the amount, like we talked about this. It might have been legit last episode. I can't remember. It was either last episode or 2 episodes ago. How many posts this guy hits? Like, this guy shoots so precisely.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I just love his wrist shot. It's just too bad. Like, he could probably have 10 more goals this year. If it's like an inch lower, he hits the crossbar like weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly crossbars. It's brutal.
I'm telling you, man. Make the net 1 inch bigger.
Yeah, why not?
1 inch.
Come on. Need more goals.
That was bad. According to DNVR, that is bad post 73
Yeah.
on the season.
So, yeah.
Or sorry, 72. Sorry.
I mean, that's more than 1 a game.
Like what?
It's brutal.
What?
Yeah. It's like 1.5 a game.
But, Avs go to the second intermission, tied 1-1.
Yeah, can you imagine if that went up 2-1 right there?
I was going to say it must be nice, again, feeling the whole score in the last minute of a period thing.
Yeah.
Man, could you imagine scoring twice?
Yeah.
The problem with that saying is the fact that, the Kings figured out a way to be on that friggin' goddamn list too.
They do too in the last minute. The worst last minute.
Oh, that is
the actual last minute.
So yeah, Toffoli, we kind of talked about it, gets his second. And again, the period is fine. This game was not the best.
I just have to say, I don't know what the F Cole is doing on that 1-on-1, and then he injures Grubauer. It's just like, oh my god.
The Grubauer injury.
Like,
when did he get hurt?
It was right at the start of the third, I think. And it's
right.
just like, first of all, like, the way that he hits Grubauer and everything, it's like, okay, well, fucking freak accident kind of, right? But what the hell is he doing on this 1-on-1? Like, I can't fathom his mental process here. Like, he's like looking behind him. Dude, it's a 1-on-1. If there's a guy behind, let the freaking forward take care of him. You don't just let someone go around you and go into and get a good shot on your goalie. Like, what are you doing, dude? He just puts himself out of body position to let whoever the hell, I can't even remember who it is, walk right into Grubauer. And then proceeds to try and cut him off almost and smash his ass into Grubauer, which I don't know how exactly Grubauer gets injured there, but
yeah,
he's injured.
I'm guessing knee. I'm guessing knee when he kind of like falls back on his right leg.
Yeah, it looks right leg, but
it's like it's.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, Cole.
Yeah, so
What?
Kopitar is like super far back. Like he's a super late.
Is it
2-on-1.
Kopitar?
Yeah, like Wagner's the one driving.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Kopitar's the one that's like late man on the 2-on-1, but
Right.
he's semi-covered. Like he's not wide open. It's definitely a 2-on-1. But why Cole doesn't just aggressively play Wagner and just take him out of the play?
He could have had him so easily, just angle, and he's not even getting to the front of the net.
Yeah. He just got distracted by Kopitar, and it's absolutely brutal.
That's inexcusable. Like, you can't be looking over your shoulder back at that point. Like, yeah, who cares?
Just take him.
Even if Kopitar's wide open at that point and he's that far back, Wagner's going to have to make a pretty nice play, or there's going to be a big rebound.
Yeah.
Whatever. Make the first stop first.
Yeah.
However that's going to happen.
Just take him out of the play. And if this was men's hockey with no body contact, like no checking, okay, maybe you have to play it that way.
Yeah.
This is grown men playing contact hockey. Take him out of the play. Yeah, play the body.
All you have to do there is just be on him there. And that's not happening.
And again, we're not talking about Makar. We're not talking about Girard. We're not talking about Graves.
Exactly.
We're talking about a big, tough defenseman on this team that is supposed to be a defenseman.
Yeah. You're supposed to know how to play these better than that. That's for sure.
And it's that as a whole is bad. And then you add the Grubauer injury and the fact that it was Ian Cole that causes the injury.
I
is
know,
just
right? It was
oh, man.
It was like the worst luck of a play we could have had in this game. And it happened right at the start of this third period. And then you got to shove Frankie into this frickin' Stadium Series game.
Now, the one thing about this, and I saw it on Twitter, and I agreed with it on Twitter. I can't remember who tweeted it. At least we got to see Frankie's sick setup.
Mm-hmm.
Because his pads and his helmet.
Yo, they're pretty sick.
Sick.
Pretty sick. The helmet. Oh, man. I have such a hard-on for frickin' matte paint.
Yeah, which
I love it.
Is a huge thing in the NHL as a whole.
Yeah,
people love
it's
the matte
really
stuff.
started to
My
come
helmet's
out.
my helmet's matte too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. You got a
The
new
red
one.
one,
Like,
yeah.
right.
I like it a lot too. It's kind of getting to the point where it's like everybody's doing it, so it's less cool.
Yeah, overkill. Yeah.
It's not hipster enough anymore.
True, yeah, because I think, like...
You got to go, if you want to be cool now, you got to go the Ben Bishop route and have glow-in-the-dark paint.
Yeah.
Because that totally makes sense.
I have to comment on the LA helmets. When I first saw
I
them,
meant to bring that up.
honestly, they were sick. In the light and having the dark sky above, I thought they looked super cool because they were like iridescent, you know? It was like black on top and then it would be like a shine on the side. I thought they were really cool looking in the night sky. In the sun, those things looked ridiculous.
I meant to bring that up actually.
But
if you go back to the Stadium Series last year, the Pittsburgh and Philly ones.
Do you remember the helmets in that one?
Which helmets do you think were worse? The Pittsburgh and Philly helmets? Because we'll lump that into one. Because they're basically the same. Pittsburgh and Philly helmets, Avs helmets, or Kings helmets. Clearly you don't think the Kings helmets are the worst. I don't either.
I didn't even really mind the Avs helmets. Those ones last year were fucking brutal.
I think the Avs helmets last night were fucking terrible.
I don't know. I didn't mind them too much either. I really didn't like the big numbers on the side though.
I didn't like the numbers, and the logo, like the way it kind of like rolled off. I did not like it at all. I thought it was dumb.
I mean, it is kind of weird. It was kind of like gimmicky.
I just don't like the big logos and helmets to begin with, and I also don't like. I don't like the one-sided helmet.
Yeah,
that drives me nuts.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Anyway, I forgot about the helmets. I hated the Avs helmets. Hated them. One thing that I did like, and I'm sure a lot of other people were in agreement on this, the practice jerseys were sick.
Yeah, they were.
The practice jerseys,
pretty cool.
Give me one of those today.
Yeah,
if I can find somewhere to buy like an auctioned Avs practice jersey, I might like really get one.
I mean,
they were sick.
They're probably up somewhere.
They must be.
If someone knows, DM us.
Yeah, I would be super down to have
at Offside by Mile on Twitter.
Any color. The blue ones were okay. The black ones are probably like the best. But then I think there was the red ones that had the blue logo.
Yeah,
those ones are pretty nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, man. I like that logo. It's sweet.
Can we take this logo and put them on the regular third jerseys?
Yeah, make that a third
instead of
jersey,
that like
right?
C one.
Yeah.
Like I don't hate that one either, but I like this logo a lot. And if you put it on a regular jersey, like if you legitimately just switch it out on the other jersey, beautiful.
Yeah, and just the little A, and get rid of the stripes that go around.
Normal size,
they look great,
literally
man.
the same jersey. Just change the logo to this one.
Yeah,
money. Anyway, back to the hockey game. Frankie comes in, rock in a hard place. Not exactly the best situation to come in as a backup. You're probably not exactly the warmest.
Can you imagine the nerves at that point?
Yeah.
He's probably like, oh, shit.
But
Gru, are you okay, Gru? No? Oh, God.
But kills it for most of the period. Does just fine. Does an absolutely fine job.
Yeah.
Avs can't beat Quick in the whole third period still. And it looks like it's going overtime.
Really, really, really thought it was going to.
Looks like it's going overtime. And I was thinking, I was sitting there, and I'm like, man, at least they got a point, and they should be able to get 2.
And honestly, at the end of the third, LA, until what happens, honestly, it looked like they were just trying to kill time and get to overtime, which is really weird for LA, because it's like, why are you putting yourself in that position?
You guys think you're going to do good against the Avs at 3-on-3? No,
yeah,
I don't.
It was just like they were trying to run the clock. It's like, dude, why are you guys trying to hold on to 1 point? Why don't you just go for it right now? It's weird. But
and then they did.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tyler Toffoli off a one face-off, misses the shot, takes the shot, wide open again, because it's just, why not? It's a broken play, and it's frustrating. But like I don't know what to say on this one anymore, because it's just, this one's unlucky mostly, right? Like,
I mean, yeah.
Rather, again, I think it's a bad choice by the Avs, which generally is what their defense seems to be. But rather than like taking Toffoli, like you assume he's gonna shoot, so you're just like standing out there with your stick trying to like deflect it or whatever. But rather than skating to him because he's a forward, like he's a offensive player, rather than making sure he loses the puck or shoots the puck, they just skate by to the defenseman, as if the defenseman is going to be more dangerous.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, obviously you don't want to give away, like you don't want the defenseman to just be wide open either. But I don't know. It's just, it's unfortunate. It's one where if they just skate through Toffoli.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just like,
if you skate through Toffoli rather than just sticking your stick in the way, he's got to make a really good choice and pass it to the defenseman that you're supposed to be covering, or he loses the puck.
Yeah.
And they just don't make that choice. And, right, like, in theory, they did the right thing for positional play. This is like on NHL when you're playing your Be a Pro and you get, like, props for playing the position properly.
Yeah.
But you lose the game, and it's just like, well, that's great, but, like, you got scored on.
Yeah.
Right, and it's frustrating. It's just, I'm not mad about this one. It sucks. It just happens. But it's a case of, like, Jonathan Quick got the 2 points for LA in this one. 100%.
Yeah.
Pure and simple.
I mean, yeah, that's just, it was honestly, it's kind of an unlucky game. And, I mean, the Avs could have done better. There could have been better execution for sure. You can blame the ice for that. You can do whatever you want. But, I mean, could have been worse. But it's the thing that stings the most. It's the freaking Kings.
Yeah.
We need to win that game. I don't care how we lose. That's a bad loss.
Agree.
Like, we need to win that game. And especially when we get scored on twice in the third period, or in the last minute of the third period. It's like, oh, no. Not like the third one lost us the game.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention the fact that Girard, probably the biggest problem with this goal is Girard plays dodgeball with it.
Mm.
Girard, Frankie can't see any of
right.
it. I always forget about it until I see the highlight.
Right.
Frankie can't see it because there's two Avs in the way.
Yeah,
One of those Avs being Girard, who for some reason dodges out of the shot lane, and Frankie's, there's the puck going by me.
I wanted to mention that too. Why the F is Girard on the ice right now? He's not the worst defensive D-man out there, but when you see plays like that, then you start to question everything. And I mean, I don't know, maybe, we already saw what Cole did earlier in the game. I don't know if that's kind of why you're not playing him at this point, but actually, I feel like this is a Graves and Cole shift right now, right?
This is Eric Johnson, actually, and now I'm watching the clip a little more here. Eric Johnson, for some reason, is lined up on the boards. It's a minute left, and you're lining up your second defenseman on the boards. You want to tell me how that makes sense?
Yeah.
Again, this is on the coaching staff. This is your line. Like, this is your play off the face-off of a tie game in a minute with a minute left.
Yeah, that's a misjudgment.
Eric Johnson is the one that tries to get to Toffoli on his original shot, and he ends up hitting Comfer, who's the centerman on this draw.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, that you should be all center there at that point.
The two defensemen should be at the front of the net.
Yeah.
And the three forwards should be covering the point and covering the centerman.
Yeah.
Why do you got to get fancy? Are you trying to win the game off this face-off in your own end? That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And it ends up costing them, and I just noticed that, and it pisses me off even more now.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So that's twice in this episode that we're seriously blaming coaching staffs on this.
Well,
and I'm not,
it's gotta be, right? Especially with under a minute left.
Eric Johnson,
you're setting this up.
Eric
right?
Johnson didn't line up on the friggin' boards for fun. Like,
yeah,
he was told to go there.
Yeah, which is
it's a thing that's practiced by the Avs. And again, yeah, like you said, right? Like, okay, I get it. You have pairings, and your pairings are generally, offensive guy, defensive guy. It's pretty usual, pretty standard practice across the NHL.
Yeah.
You're allowed to change that. Why would you? And I understand Zadorov's not been playing the greatest, but why is it not Erik Johnson, Zadorov just sitting in front of the net?
Maybe that's what it has to be, right?
And,
well, and
maybe Zadorov was on the ice right before this face-off.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't want to put Ian Cole on because, like you said, he's not been the greatest either. But
Johnson's not a bad choice either normally.
But again, why on this play? Why is it Erik Johnson that's chasing?
Yeah, that
makes not Girard.
Absolutely no sense, right? If you're gonna do that, then yeah, put the quicker, more agile player over there. If that's really the play that you want.
This is clearly coaching.
Yeah.
What? I'm not. I don't think Bednar, like I don't dislike him enough to say like he's got to be fired. And obviously, I'm not saying this is a fireable offense, but it's just like.
I mean,
these are the little decisions that just continually happen, and you're just like, why is this guy employed? And I'm not saying it was just Bednar, but it's questions that you have to have. People, every time coaches get fired and hired, there's always the question of, does a coach really impact the game that much?
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. But your coach damn well better not impact the game to the point where you lose it.
Yeah.
And this play, along with the penalty kill from the Caps game, that reads coaching input.
Right, and we haven't ripped on the coaches all that much this year at all.
Basically, coaches' challenge being bad, and that's it.
And they haven't done that very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. I think that maybe is a coaching issue, and yeah, I agree. There's like,
stop trying to outthink yourself because you're killing it.
Yeah. And yeah, like you said, it's not like fireable or anything by any means, but I mean, self-reflection, pure and simple. Coaching staff should be looking at themselves and looking at this play, looking at this tape and being like, maybe that wasn't the right idea.
It's 55 seconds left in the game.
Yeah. So
what are you trying to be all fancy for?
Yeah. Yeah, that's not the time.
The empty netter's an empty netter, whatever.
It is what it is, yeah. Gets a freaking hat trick. Damn it, Toffoli.
To the extracurricular stuff from this game, Grubauer's injured. Calvert.
You love to do that, eh? I don't even know when Calvert got injured, dude. Like I don't either. I don't know. So
both lower body injuries, we'll see.
Hopefully that's okay.
I would assume Grubauer is, probably week to week.
I don't think that's a crazy serious one. Obviously we hope.
If it's knee, it's probably week to week.
Knock on the wood,
right? For those that were bitching and moaning about Grubauer, you got your wish. You better hope you're right.
And man, it's the worst timing too, because he's been playing so good lately.
They said on the broadcast something like he's like 8-2 and something since the new year.
Yeah, in January since the new year.
So it's like, man, I didn't know he was playing that well. Obviously the Avs have been playing well, but like I didn't realize it was that good.
He's barely let in any goals lately, like straight up.
Yeah, right. So even then, right? Both like the 3 goals against the Washington Capitals. No, I don't think any of them are his. I don't think the one he let in against the Kings was his either.
Yeah, like I don't really know what else he could do.
Right? So. It's just like
brutal timing.
It's terrible timing. It's kind of the joke I made about Quick, right? Where it's normally when Quick, like lately, when Quick gets really going, it's there's an injury around the corner.
Yeah.
And that's just it's brutal. It feels the same way for Grubauer right now. It sucks. Frankie has carried the load this season already. But
yeah, I mean,
we need him to do it again, big time.
I have faith.
I do too.
He's been good when he's been called upon this year. It's going to be interesting too, but like he just has not played that much lately. Obviously, that's partially due to Grubauer just playing so well lately, and really kind of taking the reins. But now he's going to have another pretty decent workload here because I don't foresee us putting in what's the guy's name. Miska or whatever.
Yeah, Hunter Miska or something.
Yeah. I don't see us playing him too much.
Yeah, so forgot to mention that, but since the last time we saw Adam Warner, he got hurt.
Yeah. And yeah, Bebo was hurt. I don't know if he's back yet. I haven't looked that up in a while, but I think he had surgery, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was
Bebo?
done for the year or something.
Yeah, he might be. So we had some other holes already in our roster when it comes to goaltending. But yeah.
It's Frankie's net for a while, I would assume.
Yeah, and I mean, he's nice and rested right now. He's nice and fresh. Ride him right now. Ride him out.
Unfortunate. So we'll get into this. The crap that was the Stadium Series off the ice. Twitter has been ablaze. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And I saw it on Saturday. Sorry, I saw it on Friday with the comments for people like, leave early. It's Friday. It's game day skate, or it's like just a first skate in the outdoor rink stuff. Like from the media, like took me twice as long to get here. Blah 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 blah. This has got to be one of the worst fan experiences I have ever seen at an outdoor game.
Yeah, I mean,
and I get it. So for those that don't,
you hear the tales after, and you're like,
for those that don't know, I guess the NHL and the American military signed something to like host outdoor games at military venues.
Mm-hmm.
It's really unfortunate. The Falcon Stadium is a nice place.
Mm-hmm.
The views, like I saw Adrian Dater post like a view from like the press box,
right,
like midday, and it was just like absolutely gorgeous views. Kind of
cool
confusing.
Presentation.
Yeah, cool presentation. Kind of weird that it was at night for that reason. Like you could have had it like maybe a 4:00 game.
That's what I was thinking too.
If you had a 4:00 game, you have the sun going down, so you get the good views before the sun goes down. Then you get the evening stuff too. Whatever. Problem is, this is on a military base, so getting onto the military base is not easy. B, there's basically one highway to get in, and C, that highway is shit, apparently.
Yeah. And it made for some pretty bad experiences from what I saw.
One of my favorite tweets was the flyover video. Did you watch that one?
No, I don't.
So,
like of the Jets.
Yeah, they had a video from one of the jets like looking down, and it flew over the traffic. There's this highway, and it's just like completely red lights everywhere, and then the other way it's just white, like headlights, and you're just like, so that was good. So for the fans that made it to the start of the game, golf clap for you. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you got to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
For the fans that missed the good first period and stuff like that when the Avs weren't losing, sorry. The people that missed the first intermission concert show from Sam Hunt, sweet. Then there was the discussion on Twitter of the concessions, which were awful.
Yeah.
Sounds like for you and I, so in Calgary we have what's called McMahon Stadium. It's our football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It seats about 30,000 people. It's the CFL's played out of here. It's about 80 years old. No, it's like 45 or something years old. It's terrible. It
pure
has
block of cement. Yeah,
it's pure cement. It's got terrible concessions. It's got terrible washrooms. This looked worse.
Ugh.
Imagine basically like. You know what it looks like when McMahon has 25,000 people and it's just a mess in the concession lines at halftime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Imagine adding 20,000 people to that. And that's what it looked like in this place. It was just people everywhere. I saw one tweet and it was just like an overhead view and it was like, can you tell me where the line starts for this concession? And it was just 10,000 people or something. Like it was just people everywhere.
Yeah.
And thankfully, nothing bad happened, because imagine trying to evacuate that crap and whatever else like, could have happened.
Yeah.
But like for the fan experience, it did not seem like it was fantastic at all.
Yeah. It's the most negative I've seen, like reactions on Twitter and stuff, and just comments, and you're reading these, and you're like, oh my god.
We haven't even gotten to leaving the stadium.
Right, and that was another huge thing.
People couldn't get Ubers. People couldn't get taxis. People that did drive were waiting 3 hours to leave. People were walking miles home.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's like
yikes.
It's like this was the first ever outdoor game.
Yeah, obviously they did not prepare correctly.
Which is a joke because you had over a year and this is not friggin' new. It's not like this is the first thing in this stadium either. Like, and from what I read, like obviously the Falcon Stadium's not normally sold out.
Yeah.
For regular football games. But even then, like you have to have seen this coming. You had like nobody went and sat down and said, "Okay, we're going to get 40,000 people in and out of this place."
Yeah.
That have to drive for the most part. Stuff like that. Like you couldn't have had shuttles. You could have done so many different things. And it wasn't done. It wasn't done well. Then there was not the worst thing, but the people that paid the highest ticket prices to sit front row couldn't even watch the game because their seat was basically parallel to the boards.
Yeah.
You got to see heads running around.
That's brutal.
Guys, like, God, seriously,
there's like no screens or anything?
Maybe, but even then, like, why am I paying $300 and something bucks to sit in the front row to watch a screen? I could sit at home. Yeah,
that's true, but yeah, I mean, if you're gonna sit front row at a freaking in a football stadium watching a hockey game, though, I don't know.
I mean,
it's kind of dumb.
Fair, but if that's the case, then that shouldn't be a $350 seat.
That's what I was just gonna say. But it shouldn't cost that much then. So,
right, like this is the thing, and we kind of talked about it before. These outdoor games are for the local crowd. And when it came to like on TV, it was the same as usual for the most part. I was not a fan of the camera they used, the mobile camera. Whether you were saying it might have been a drone, I was thinking it was a cable camera.
Either way.
Well, however they used that camera, I was not a fan of.
Yeah.
The broadcast, the normal broadcast angle, that was standard.
There's not much that you can do about that.
They're always like that. The angle's not right compared to what we see out of a hockey arena.
Yep.
That's why it bugs me that they don't use the mobile camera to replicate that angle.
Yeah, right.
It drives me nuts. But, that is what it is. But again, I would, every day of the week, rather watch a hockey game from in an arena than at the football stadium. So that in-arena or the in-stadium experience better kick ass.
Yeah, and it looks like they missed the mark on this one.
Clearly fucking didn't.
Because honestly, this might be one of the worst fan experiences when it comes to outdoor games.
I think this is easy. Like, it's, if you don't consider weather, like weather complaints, this has to be the worst.
Yeah, right.
And now, as fans, like if you're an avid Avs fan, you're probably pissed, but you're probably going to watch the games. Imagine this was like your first, second, third, fourth game seeing the Avs, and you were like, hell yeah, this will be amazing. I'd love to be there. And it's absolutely garbage.
Yeah. And
you just killed a fan. That fan is not watching anymore.
Not only, well, that's the thing too, is you talk about fan experience. The Avs didn't have the outcome as well, and then the fan experience is awful. Oh, like that's just gonna turn you off to so many things in the future.
If that was the best game of the year, you might have been able to salvage it with people being pissed off about going home and stuff. But at least you got to watch a good game.
Yeah. And then this one, you show up late, and then it's garbage.
At the same time, I'm kind of happy that it was not the greatest hockey game because fans are going to be pissed, and there's not going to be anything to blow it over. Like, the NHL's not going to get away with this. Like I'm not saying people are getting refunds, but I'm saying like half of the people that are pissed off aren't going to be like, well, at least it was a good hockey game. Everybody who's pissed is pissed, and they're going to voice it.
Yep.
Right? And I'm kind of happy about that. Obviously, we didn't have to deal with it because we're up in Calgary, so it's not like we went to the game. It would have been fun. I'm telling you right now, I'm glad I didn't go.
Hearing all the stories and everything.
Right? And that's terrible.
Yikes,
you can't have that experience.
Yeah.
The Flames and the Jets had the Heritage Classic this year.
Yeah, in Regina,
10 of our friends went, took a bus. Not a single one of them said it was a shitty trip.
No, I think they had a great time. Yeah.
Right? And it's like, and I understand that's the thing, right? If this game would have been played at Bronco Stadium or where the Rockies play, I can't think of the name right now. Obviously, it would have been way better done, and the logistics
so much
the logistics would have been way better, right?
Yeah, so much more accessible.
But this is the problem you get with the NHL signing the military deal, right? That's why I started with that, right?
Yep.
And it's super unfortunate that a event that could have been so good for the season for the Avs fans in general just fell flat.
Yeah,
and
flopped.
by flat, I mean it's like
a serious flop.
Negative as fuck.
I was so stoked for this too, and stoked for the fans, and like, you know, at the start, I really liked the opening. It was pretty cool. Like the guy in the parachute comes down with the freaking American flag. That was epic. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is sick. And then you like hear all this crap afterwards, looking on Twitter, and you're like, oh my god.
Another thing I also feel bad about is the cadets that were sitting there watching, quote unquote, the game.
Yeah, they can like barely see. Can you imagine being at the back row?
You think people couldn't see in the front row of the stadium? These guys were sitting on ground level. Like what the hell was the point of that?
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't really know what kind of screens they had going on, but I didn't really see any. I don't even know. That's kind of an interesting viewing experience, I'm sure.
Very. But yeah, so I don't know.
Pretty depressing episode right here.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
I meant to actually start the episode with so we're just gonna release Empty Air today.
Here's static for an hour. Might as well listen to that.
Sorry.
You know, we haven't had a depressing episode really in a while.
It's been a bit.
You know, it's good to get one in there. Let's have this be the last one.
So, Avs continue on. Let's hopefully not have a losing streak go too long here. Tampa Bay is in town on Monday. That's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a burn right there.
The Islanders play at 8 o'clock Mountain in Denver on Wednesday.
We know how we played against the Islanders last time.
Yeah, Varlamov's probably playing that one. So
I think that was 1-0, right?
Yeah. But that game is at 8, so we won't be recording post game.
Right.
It'll be a little late. So the recap you'll hear on Thursday and stuff like that will be Lightning only. The recap for the Islanders game will be Monday's episode next week.
And I guess we're getting pretty close to trade deadline, so I'm sure we'll be talking about that on next Sunday.
Yeah, next
recording on Sunday, yeah. Because we might have some little bit of details there. Who knows?
Hopefully, for our sake, Toffoli is on the Avs by Monday's episode. We don't have to wait till post-deadline to talk about him.
That would be nice. I mean, yeah.
Whatever the Avs do, regardless, let's hope it's done by Sunday's episode recording.
And just don't sell the farm.
Please. But again, until then, thanks for listening if you're still around, because we're sorry we were very negative, but the Avs sucked in the last 2 days.
It was not good.
Just Avs hockey in general was not fun. Or just Avs, period.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully Thursday's episode is a lot more cheery, and we will catch you then. Thanks for tuning in.
Now a quick word from our sponsors.
Last but not least today, we have a fantastic deal from Reebok. Reebok is offering an extra 50% off if you use the code GETDOWN, no spaces. This would be a perfect time to get yourself some new workout gear, maybe some UFC fight merch. Whatever you're looking for, this code will save you some money. Also, same as with Puffy and NHL Shop, if you shop through our link, which we will tweet after the episode, you can help support us and the Hockey Podcast Network. Again, thanks for tuning in to our growing network of podcasts, and we hope you enjoy our episode. Don't forget to visit us on Twitter at Offside by a Mile to join our conversation and have your voice heard. Also, check out the rest of the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet and thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. You can listen to the podcast there or anywhere you get your podcasts from. The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.